Hey guys, Doji here from Doji Trading, and here today to go over my 5 don'ts in trading, especially this is for new traders. And in my next video, you can guess it, I'm going to do the 5 do's of trading. Excuse me. Now, the first thing I want to do as far as Doji chat is actually just do my trade from this morning, just because I really am pleased with the way it turned out. And it was on AMD. So the night before, I'm doing my charting, I'm looking at my tickers, my list, and I'm just going through, looking at the daily, looking at, different patterns on the higher time frames, just seeing what really stands out to me. Because at open, I like to just look at a few names in the morning, right? At open, I don't like to try to focus on all these tickers. It's difficult that way. So I will show you that first, actually. So if I go here, these are my main tickers right now. We have Lucid, BABA, BA, NEO, Walmart, AMD, SPY, Qs, Apple, BAC, and VIX, okay? So these are the ones that I'm just watching. And so AMD, the reason I was interested in that is if you go on the daily, oh, and that's one of my rules. Let's go back here. Just kidding. Okay. Just because the way TradingView is, it like kept that. Anyway, okay. But I'll just tell you. So on the daily, there was an outside bar. So, so there was an outside bar, and before that, it was an inside bar. So, that is, and what I think it is called, because I use a indicator that shows that, and it's either, there's somebody, I believe it's Trading Wars, maybe you're familiar with that on Twitter, but they're into the Holy Grail, and I don't know the other name. So if you remember the name, comment down below. But in any case, they have a great indicator that I use to kind of show that inside-outside bar. But that's all it is. It's an inside or outside bar. Oh, right there. You can see on this one too, on the 5 minute. See that inside bar that's yellow and the white outside bar. So anyway, so I saw that, and so I was interested, right? And so I was watching it in the morning, and I like to watch the pre-market and see what's going on. And what was interesting, because on those outside bars or the Holy Grails or inside bars, all that, the main thing is when it breaks that bar, either side, you can see this is the purple, this purple line shows where that break would be, right? On the low. And then I can show you, there's the high of that outside bar. So you can see in pre-market, it actually broke it. So right away seeing that, I'm thinking, okay, bearish. I'm bearish on this because it already broke. Although you can see, now this is on the 1 minute, okay, someone may look at it and go, but wait, it's going in an uptrend. Okay, that's the micro trend. You want to be looking, let's go to, higher time frames, right? 1 hour, 15 minute, 30 minute. I mean, you need to be looking at those to really see what's going on. But also just, it's not even that, I try not to, even though I said bearish and I'm thinking, putts for this, you don't know yet. The main thing is the chart needs to tell you. So, things that you're reading off Twitter or Discord, or even my belief right here, at the end of the day, at open, I'm watching for the chart to tell me which way it's going to go. And I'm not getting in before that time until I have an idea. And again, it's just an idea because I'm not going to be 100%, right? That's not how it works. So I did have this idea going into it that it would be going down. So I'm watching this, and right away, what you can see and what this told me, you can see this range right here, right? You can see that. So right away off open, I'm watching, and I don't get in right away, right? Because there's no reason to get in. You want to see what's going on first. And right away I see it does not break this, right? Doesn't break this to the upside. Doesn't obviously break this or even get to pre-market high at all. So there you go. It's adding to my overall view of what's going to happen, right? So I'm still in that same mindset, bearish. So I'm watching this, and just in case, I can't remember if I did say in my other videos, but the white line is VWAP, and then we have the 20 EMA, that's the blue line, and the 9 EMA, that's the yellow line. So I'm watching for that, because if it breaks below, again, it's just adding, you know, it's more consistency, right, in what I'm thinking. So I see this, you know, it goes down. Do I want to get in yet? No. So what I need to see first, I want to actually see somewhat of a trend developing, and also we have VWAP here, and I'm not gonna mess around with that while it's still kind of skirting on top of here, right? And as you can see, when it's doing this, it's ranging, right? You know, consolidation, nothing's happening yet. So as I see this, I'm like, oh, okay, let's see. Is it gonna break below? Is it gonna break above? See, just like here, right? Already it broke below this little range. Let's see what happens here. So on this candle, and look at the volume down here on this candle, it breaks right here. Now you'd say, oh, okay, so you got in right there. Well, after this candle, right? Like right here. And a lot of people would think that, but no, I don't. So one of my rules is that on range breaks, you know, any kind of really break, I am looking for a pullback to the 9 EMA. So as it broke down here, it's still, you know, didn't really even touch the 9 EMA. I'm still waiting, even though it broke down on this, boom. This is where I got in for puts, okay, right there. That was my entry, and with my stop, really, if it starts crossing over VWAP, right? So my stop's over here at this point, and I always do it just a little bit above, and give a little wiggle room. But I really want a candle closing, not a wick. I want a candle closing above it to tell me, okay, you know, maybe I was wrong here. Time to get out and reposition, like, you know, look for my next entry. So I get in there, and as you can see, it starts kind of curling, right? Rounding, the rounding top, and that's what we like to see, kind of rounding around, and it's moving down nicely, right? Now even here, so I'm watching for this, and it continues to go down. Now this is that yesterday's low, right? This purple line. So I'm watching that too, and at the break of you know, strong levels, I'm going to take some profit. So I don't take all of it off. I take some contracts off right at the break, because I don't know what's going to happen. It can, a lot of times this happens. It breaks, reverses. I mean, it can happen. So I'm going to take something off, right? This is where scaling out is really important. So scaled out there. And then now you're looking for, you know, you're going in a downtrend, right? So you're looking for lower lows, lower highs, right? So it's coming down here, and then you have a lower high, right? So it's coming here, and I just start mine right here, you know, from here to here, you have this little pivot point, and then it moves up here, not moving past the 20, so that still confirms a downtrend to me, still going on, I'm still in the move. And then here comes the next one, a lower low, right? It's lower than the previous. So lower low, and this is where I take some more profit, right? That's what I do. On when I'm going in a downtrend, I'm in puts, I'm going to keep going on these pivot points. And sorry if it's loud in the background. I think it's like the garbage truck, but sorry about that. So I take more profit there. And then, where did my other, oh, there it is. Okay. Now, I want to preface this by saying this is why I like to do my trading early in the morning, because I have other things going on. And really at 10 o'clock, I had a call with my kids' school. So I knew I was going to probably just have to cut this, because I'm not going to sit there and watch it. Yes, I could place a stop. I just, for me, I like to just get out. If I'm not here, I like to get out. So got out there. But I'll say this, you could have still, or I could have still stayed in here, right? Because, so we have this, really, it broke above the 20, but what I do is, like, I would have put my stop now if it got above this, right? This lower high. I like to give it a little bit of room. You know, sometimes you need to do that. And we're on the 1 minute too. So that, if I knew I was sitting here for my last, now I took, you know, I'm taking profit, right? So, but I like to leave a little bit at the end, maybe even 1 contract, 2 contracts, just to have those, you know, you want to say runners, right? And look at that. See, it continued, right? And now we're at pre-market low. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. But either way, I'm still happy with it. Again, I don't have to get, you know, the whole thing. And that's the way you have to think about it. You want to get the meat of it, right? You want to get a piece of it. It doesn't have to be, you know, and you'll hear people, don't go for the tops, don't go for the bottoms. It's like, just get something out of it, right? Get, you know, your whole risk to reward situation. That's what you want to be thinking about. And you should always be thinking about, as your play progresses, your trade moves on, you want to be thinking about, okay, where are good places to put my stop, you know? And depending on where it's at, you're going to be probably a little more tighter than you would, you know, normally. Like, once it starts really working and you're green and nicely green, to me, it's okay to be a little looser, right? Because you want to really confirm that this trend is reversing, you know, and these pops will scare out newer traders, right? Because a lot of times what that means to me is that you got in at the wrong time, okay? And that's what I see. Your entry, you know, when I first started, I would have started just as soon as it starts dropping, I'm in. Not even thinking about, well, it's going to drop and then pull back, you know? So you want to confirm. Does it work sometimes? Like this, if I would have just got on the first red candle, or even up here, yeah. I mean, someone could look at this, and even up here, oh wow, I see a red candle, I could have just got in there. The problem is that it's not going to work like that every time. So, and you learn that as you go and you have red trades and you lose money. That's when you figure out that no, I can't just jump in, you know, just because sometimes that works. So it's also discipline, right? You know, you just jumping into a trade and it working out, that's not being disciplined. That's not following your rules. So again, that's just creating a bad habit doing that. You need to have a place. That's why for me, if a range breaks or I see a trend starting, I want to look for, I mean, back to the basics of trading, right? I mean, you always hear this, you know, if you're going in an uptrend, right? Higher highs, higher lows, you know, going in a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. You should be looking for that. So you want to actually identify that a trend has started. And for me, I want to get in after. I know that the trend has started. Wait for the pullback to the 9 EMA. That keeps you disciplined, right? And I think that's the way to go. So sometimes we lose sight of, I think, the basics, right? And, you know, we're always just fixated on all these indicators. You know, they're nice. I like them. I use them. But you really need to get in the habit of looking at those pivot points, right? Because they can really help you. And look at that. See? I mean, it just continued on. I could have just been in there. Yeah. I mean, now I'm thinking, yeah, why didn't I just do a stop? But, you know, hindsight, right? And for me, like I said, I'm following what I say. I like to be here for my trades. But that's okay. It still feels good just knowing that, you know, my reading of the chart was correct. And that's what you need to get in the habit of, is letting the chart speak to you on what it's doing. Oh, wow, it's already like almost 15 minutes here on this. Okay, let's get to my rules. So, number 1, don't rush into a trade at open. Okay, so many new traders want to trade the open because, and I get it, it's that quick money, right? I want to make my money and then I have the rest of the day. I mean, that is the dream, right? The problem is you can't just rush in, first candle, you don't know what's going on. So that is where you have the difference between trading and gambling, okay? So you just jumping in, I just went over that AMD trade. You saw that I had a thought process in there. I was reading the chart. I was looking at it and finding a point to get in that had less risk. So let's say you get in here and you're like, oh, it's going up. Great. It broke pre-market high. I'm in. Let's say you are in. Let's move that over here. Okay, you got in right here. And let's make that green. Okay, you're in. Great. Okay. Yeah, look, you're in there, it's going up, and you're like, okay, well, it's probably going to come back up. But here's the problem with just jumping in too early without a trend developing is then look at that, right? Okay, you could have just got out. Sure. But hopefully, number one, if you're new and you're doing this kind of trading, you're on a platform that's free, like a Webull. Because again, with contracts, depending, like for me, TradeStation, not free. So, I'm not going to be paying fees just to get in and out and not know. And you just run into, then you're just chasing. And especially on like a choppy day, wow, that's not going to work out for you. So you're better off waiting. And you can see, again, just like that AMD, it's just in this little range, right? Let it break out of its range and decide. And so on this one, I'll give you an example. Where would I get in? I wouldn't get in here. I wouldn't get in here. I wouldn't get in here. Nope. Oh, it's pulling back. This is where I would enter, right here. With my stop, again, VWAP. There you go. If it breaks above, the more you do this, you start seeing it. And the more charts you look at, and that's what I highly recommend at night, just looking at charts, looking at the way it's reacting, right? These candles, put on the 9 EMA, 20 EMA, VWAP, look at how it reacts. Look at, so even here, you can see, okay, it went here, and look at your pivot points, right? Look at where it's making the lower lows, right? And lower highs. Try to mark those out. And think about where you would enter. And that's what I would do. I would just practice going, okay, I would enter here. And you can even do playback here where it goes back. I can click here and then replay it. So then that way you don't know, you can't see it. And, Thinkorswim has that on demand. So you can practice that as well. But you can see, and that's very micro. But here you can see this pivot, then it goes here, then it goes all the way here, then it pulls back up here. And you can see that it's still in a downtrend. Let's see where it reverses. Aha! There you go, crosses VWAP. So here, really, let me see, right here, when it crosses that, you need to start thinking about getting out, especially where your entry is, If you're over here, yeah, for your last, I'm talking about last contract. I would have taken profit here and here for sure. And you can see like this kind of double bottom, really this is a higher low, but so that's bullish. You need to be looking at these things to kind of spot reversals there. So again, don't rush at the open. This is where you're going to get chopped up. I notice, and if you watch a lot of charts in the morning, you'll notice, and I see this a lot, at least in the tickers that I watch, around 10 o'clock, it's almost like a decision is made. That's how I feel. I think that's why a lot of people, you'll hear about the first 30 minutes. I think a lot of people do the opening range breakouts. 30 minutes, the 30-minute opening range breakout. Maybe that's why, but I notice that a lot. It like picks the directions almost. So anyway, something to keep in mind, don't rush into a trade at the open. You don't need to. Now, are there traders that trade just right at the open and, they do great? Sure, but you have to ask yourself, are you there yet? I've been doing this for years and I still don't trade right at the open. And what I mean is like first candle, I know what's happening. I'm going for it. I haven't, I've done that in the past. Just, I cannot be consistent that way. So something to think about. All right. So that's my don't number 1. Don't rush into a trade at open. Number 2, don't overtrade. Okay. So if you are up in the morning, like you took a trade and it was successful, you need to really think about, okay, do I need to keep trading? If I guess if you did a small trade, you didn't do your normal size, or it's, you have a goal that you want to meet and you want to continue, okay, but really think about the trades you're taking. Make sure that you're still looking for your setups. But having said that, your setup could still be there and it just not work out. So it's just something to think about, because that's always the case, right? A setup can be there and it cannot work out. So you just don't want to give back your gains, right? So you can see here, a nice uptrend going into a flag, and maybe this is your setup. It's above VWAP and you're like, this is the one. Okay, I've already taken trade in the morning, but I'm going to take this one. And look at that. So every setup is not going to be successful, right? This could look really good to you and something happened that, nope, not happening. So you just don't want to give it back. You want to make sure that if you are going to be that kind of trader, you want to continue trading, that you keep the stops tight and you don't just hang on to hope. Because if you're that kind of trader, yeah, over trading is going to, just ruin it for you. You're not going to make it because of that. And I ran into this problem, definitely. And especially if I was red in the morning, right? First trade's red. It's like, okay, I got to make it up, but no, you still have to, I really recommend having a number of trades. When I was starting out, I really stuck to 3 trades, and because it just, you need to have that discipline and those rules, or else you'll just continue to trade and just either give it all back or get really, really in a deep hole over it. So don't overtrade. Okay, number 3, don't enter a trade you can't replicate. This is so, so, so important. Every time you get in a trade, you need to know why you got in there. And that's why they say, you always hear this, trade your setup, trade your plan. Because you just getting in here and going short and making money, that means nothing. It really doesn't. A green trade does not mean it's a good trade. You also hear process over profit, right? And that is because, can you replicate that setup? Well, you can if you don't even have one to begin with. You're just going, oh, well, it's going down. I'm just going to get in. It just, trading isn't going to work like that. And long-term success isn't going to happen that way. So that's what you should be asking yourself. Can I replicate this? Where I'm entering right now, does it make sense? That's why I talk about, I wait for a trend to happen, that it starts, and then I go to the 9 EMA, I look for a pullback. Even here, we got over VWAP, okay. Here, we got a lower low. Higher low. Because if we start over here, let's just say higher high, higher low, higher high. Maybe I get in over here, okay. And even here, a VWAP ad would be nice. But anyway, but you see that I'm talking about points in the chart where I'm adding. I'm not just saying I'm just getting on a red candle. I have points that I can replicate and say, yes, I would get in here on another chart. If the same thing type of trade was happening and I see, an uptrend developing, I would do that again. So that's what you have to be thinking. So every time, can I replicate this trade, this setup? That's number 3. Don't enter a trade you can't replicate. Okay, don't number 4, don't go against the trend. So important as well. All of these are important. So, it's kind of like this. So you don't see this over here, let's just say, and obviously this is a downtrend, right? Big one right there. And you're like, oh, but wait, it's starting to go up. I think I'm going to go long here. But has the trend started? Has it really developed? You know, are you going to at least not wait for a higher high? Or something. I mean, you're just going to get in because this is what's going to happen. Look at that. Instead, you got a double top down, right? So now you could be saying, oh, but this is a double bottom. But you don't know yet. That's the point. That's why even double bottoms, which are really good with Apple, you see those a lot, that work quite nicely. But for me, I would not get in until, like in this case, I'd want it to break over here, pull back to the 9 EMA, and then I would get in. So that's why we talk about patience, right? You have to be patient, but you don't go against the trend. If you already see that it's going down in a downtrend, chances are that it probably will continue, you know? You want to bet on that, and then you want to see it's still below VWAP. So what is it telling you? Just for it going up for a little bit, you need to look at charts. It doesn't work like that. Of course it goes up a little bit. It goes up and makes a lower high. That's oftentimes what I see new traders do, is they're getting in on that lower high, thinking, oh, it's reversing. No, it's not. Wait for it to show you it's reversing, right? And that's the problem. And, they'll look at a chart and go, but wait, I could have got earlier. I could have got in earlier. And that's because it worked out that time. Sure, you got in early, but every time that's not the case. Again, the chart needs to show you, don't go against the trend. I'm not going to bring up SPY, watching VIX. I'll do that on another video. But that's also don't go against a trend. If I see, SPY, the Qs, going in a downtrend, in a strong downtrend, I'm not interested in, going long and taking calls. I'm not interested. Even if, a lot of times you'll find that there will be a ticker, even though that things are in a downtrend on SPY, let's say, or the Qs, there's that strong ticker, which you say relative strength, right? Where the indexes are going down, and that one is strong and it's going up. A lot of people will go and trade those. For me, I don't like to do that. I just don't. I'm more comfortable going with, with the trend of the overall trend, right? So, and again, there's nothing wrong with choosing to go with that ticker, that's great if that works for them. But I'm telling you, what works for me is not doing that. But especially in the chart itself, let's say you don't look at all those other things. At least in the chart itself, follow what it's telling you, right? This just going up isn't telling me it's time for a reversal. So number 4, don't go against the trend. All right, number 5, don't look at your P&L while trading. This, for me, changed everything. It really did. Obviously, it's everything, coming together. But when I stopped looking at my P&L, it really made a world of difference. And what I did was on TradeStation, where it shows you, kind of like Thinkorswim, and I think I talked about this before, where it has that kind of like price ladder. Anyway, TradeStation has something, the matrix, where it'll show you how much you're up or down in the trade, and it's kind of moving about, and that's where you can exit a trade, and it shows you that. And I used to see that. And it would tell me, okay, you're down $20, you're down $50, you're up. So, of course, that's messing with your mind, because I'm thinking, oh, man, I'm up this, I got to get out, or oh, I'm down this much. You're not looking and trading the chart. You're trading your P&L, and that's a problem. That's a big problem. So what I did was I actually changed it to show percentage, and I liked that because, although I want to be trading the chart, I also want to keep in mind that I am not going to let this go. I would say even 15% is, being down 15% is like that. That's not good, because if you're getting into 20% and all that, that means your entry wasn't good. That means your idea of the trade isn't working out the way you wanted, or it's just not ready yet, and I'd rather get out. Okay. For me, when I get in, it should be working, and relatively quickly. I mean, you're gonna, with the ups and downs, especially in options, you can see it drop, right? The P&L percentage, I'll see it drop, but like I said, I still like to have the eye on the percentage, and do a re-entry if needed, kind of thing, and get out. But that stopped me, really. Although it's there, it's way different than seeing the money for whatever reason. It's like, and maybe you just take that all out altogether. I just don't see how I can do that with that part. Maybe I can. But anyway, that helped me. For me, just seeing the dollar amount was my trigger. So when I see it in percentage, it's crazy the way the mind works. But for me, it's like different. It's like, doesn't feel as real as the money. It's like percentage. Okay, I can deal with percentage. So don't have it up. Don't look at it while trading. A lot of people look at it at the end of the day, and maybe that's good. I've tried that too. For me, I'm at a point where I'll look at it after each trade. But you should not have it up and look at it and focus on it while you're trading. Trade the chart. And so yeah, number 5, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. If I even help one person become successful, that is my goal. So, this is a start. I'm gonna have a lot more videos coming. So, please like, please subscribe. My next video will be the 5 do's for trading. These are my top 5. So this is what I think. So hopefully look out for that, and bye for now.